Human hair wigs are so versatile and easy to style if you do it correctly. Today I'm going to take you through my simple human hair wig styling tips that I use for everyday wear. I've done a few videos for you guys, but I have never done a video on my human hair wig specifically. So today I am going to share with you my favorite Sienna and how I style her on a regular basis. Hi and welcome to the Wiggy Woman. I am very excited to be showing you this tutorial today, and this is me. This is how I style my hair on a regular basis. This is Sienna, who is my daily wear wig, and I am going to be showing you what she looks like air dried, straightened, and curled. I'm not a hairstylist, but I am showing you what works for me on a day-to-day basis, and this is the primary style that I wear to work on a regular. So let's get to it. So this is Sienna by Jon Renau in color 12FS8, and Sienna is my pride and joy. I love Sienna so much that this is my daily wear wig, and a lot of the other wigs that I own are sort of, used to transition in and out when Sienna needs a break. Trust me, I have lots of other styles that are in all kinds of crazy colors for other times, but if I want to have a consistent rotation, it's really all based on what I want to do with Sienna. So this is Sienna air dried, and I just wanted to show you that this is the little book of instructions that comes with a human hair wig from Jon Renau. And so I wanted to show because a lot of times I think people think that you should air dry a wig 100%, or that you aren't supposed to use heat, or you should minimize heat on a human hair wig. And so what I want to show you are the instructions on this card. And what this says is human hair must be dried and styled after washing. Air drying will leave the hair unpolished and can trap water in the hair, causing frizzing. So while I very rarely air dry Sienna, because like I said, she's my pride and joy, I did air dry her so that you can see that this is what Sienna looks like when she is air dried. I'm going to show you a few styles today. The first is going to be a really sleek look with Sienna, which is my staple day to day. And then the other is going to be a more glam curled look. And with both of these styles, I'm going to be using the same tools, which is going to be a blow drying wand and a hair straightener. You'll notice from this air dry that this is definitely on the frizzier side. In fact, it kind of makes the strands look like they are dried out, where I just did a super deep conditioning on Sienna before I let it air dry. So I know she's conditioned and I know she's healthy, but it just doesn't look that way the way that it's styled right now. So let's go ahead over to my mannequin head, and I'm going to show you how I style Sienna. The first simple human hair wig styling tip is going to be to start with a beautiful blow dry. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to section off the hair so that I blow dry the bottom and the top separately. Since this is an open wefted cap, it makes it a little bit easier for me because I can just follow along the bottom wefts. Remember that I air dried Sienna before we started, so I am going to first hit it with some water so that I can get it about 80% dry. I just want it to be slightly damp. And now I want to protect the hair by using this Jon Renau Blown Away Blow Dry Balm, about a quarter-sized amount, and I'm going to run it through the strands that I'm about to blow dry. I'm going to comb it through to give some heat protection and styling hold. This Color Wow Anti-Humidity, Anti-Frizz, and Shine Spray is my secret weapon. I'm going to spray it liberally throughout the hair. It's going to be activated when we blow dry the hair to give a very, very smooth and silky texture. And now I'm going to take my blow dry wand. You could also use a blow dryer and a round brush, but I'm not that coordinated. And I'm going to start blow drying the hair in downward strokes because this is the bottom and the back. I want a very sleek blow dry. I'm going to train the hair to go down and be very, very flat. While I do want to pull on the hair a little bit to remove the frizz, I don't want to rip it out of the cap. So you want to definitely have a very delicate balance between pulling the hair down and pulling too hard. I'm taking my time here and I am doing this in a few passes because I want to make sure that absolutely no water is left in this human hair wig. Instead, I want a nice sleek look like this. Simple human hair wig styling starts with the blow dry. If you nail the blow dry and you have a really soft, sleek look, no matter what you put on top of it, it will also be very soft and very shiny, even if we're going to curl this later. So I'm just continuing to pull this lower layer down so it will lay nice and flat and have a nice soft texture. I'm going to repeat this process on the top half of the hair. However, I am going to reserve the bang portion and style that a little bit later. As we did with the bottom layer, I am going to use my blow dry balm and my Color Wow spray, and I am going to incorporate it throughout the hair, spraying liberally and combing it through to make sure that every strand is incorporated. This blow dry, even though it's going to be straight, it's going to help protect my style even if it's curly. The anti-humidity spray is going to make sure that moisture in the air does not deflate these curls and keeps them looking beautiful. I'm creating a very soft and, as you can see, a very shiny foundation for whatever style I'm going to apply next. Because this is the top layer now, I'm just going back through and making sure that all of these layers are very, very, very smooth and very shiny. You can see what a difference this blow dry has made in the texture of the hair. It's very, very soft and it's very, very healthy looking. Before I blow dry the bangs, I like to come in and put in my part. Since this is a human hair wig that I style often, I know where to put the part, but you can also take it off and put it on and try and figure out where you want the part to be at this point. I'm applying some concealer at the foundation, and if you want to know how I do this in more detail, I do have a separate video specifically on the part. And now I'm going to finish off the bangs, and while the other sections I blow dried up, I am going to do the bangs a little bit differently to give them a little bit more volume and face framing. I am actually going to start blow drying them away from the face, first at about a 90-degree angle, and then those little face framing layers I am going to blow dry straight up so I get a lot of face framing and volume. This is pretty much the only place on a wig that I like to see volume. So I'm pulling the hair up and over the curl of the brush to ensure that I really get a nice face framing flip here. And then I'm going to repeat on the other side. All right, so this is Sienna after I have just blow dried her. I have not added any kind of an argan oil finishing spray or anything like that, but you can see I got that part looking super duper nice. And these little face framing layers are poofed out just enough to, give a little bit more shape and body, but the rest of this is really, really sleek. And you can see that shine spray, what a difference that makes. And I could leave it alone just like this, and this would be super adorable. Just blow drying it. It doesn't really need a whole lot because this cut is very sleek. But if you want a little bit of an additional layer of sleek and shine, you can take a straightener to it, which is what we're going to do next. For this next super simple human hair wig styling tip, I'm going to use a high quality straightener and a trick that I learned from Brad Mondo, which is to always comb the hair as you are straightening to make sure that you don't flat iron kinks into your hair. I'm going to continue to comb and flat iron to really make sure that this is nice and smooth. It might take a couple of passes even on the same set of strand. I always like to focus on the ends for my second pass to make sure that I get a very, very flat look. Now I'm going to continue along the rest of the head, and you can section out the hair and flat iron the top and bottom separately, just like we did with the blow dry, and that will help give you a little bit more of a consistent look. You can see every time I pull a section of hair, I'm pulling it actually with the comb, combing it through, and following right along behind it with the straightener. The width of the hair that you're pulling should be about the width of the plates of your straightener. So this is Sienna now after I have taken a flat iron to it. It doesn't look that different than what it looked like when I had the blow dryer alone, but you will see it definitely is sitting a lot flatter on my head. There's very little poof at all, and it is a very sleek look. So now I'm going to show you kind of the other way that I style on a regular basis, and that is with a very light beach wave. So I'm going to take this back onto the mannequin head, and we're going to use that same straight iron, but we're going to use the bevel edge to create some body. Not all straighteners have a beveled edge, but most high quality ones do. I'm going to take about a 1-inch section of hair, and I'm going to go about halfway down the hair and turn it away from the face. And then almost a full rotation, I'm going to very slowly pull it the entire length of the strand. And it's going to create this cute little loose curl. I personally don't section for this. I actually take like the entire length of my hair, and I want the curls to kind of be together when I comb them out. Although if you want more of a curl volume, you can section the hair and do multiple layers. So you can see I'm going about halfway down the length of the hair, turning away from the face, and very slowly pulling it through the ends. As long as you go slow, you'll end up with a nice loose curl like this. And now I'm going to continue along the rest of the head. At least on this side, I'm going to continue to turn away from the face. Once I get to the other side, I will flip the direction so that I'm always turning the hair away from the face. Here on the other side, taking my section halfway down the strand of hair, I'm going to rotate again the other direction so it's still away from the face. I'm going to speed it up here so I can get through the rest of this head of hair. But if you're not familiar with how to do curls with a flat iron, you definitely want to practice this when the iron is off. Do not practice this on your wig while the iron is hot. All right, so this is after I've done some really big body waves to it, and I'm going to hit it with my trusty, rusty Kristen S. Beach Wave Spray. And I'm gonna just spray. And then I'm going to use my wide tooth comb and just kind of comb them out because I don't like the curls to be too intact. It's just like a little bit of movement. And then the very last step is going to be using my argan oil mist, giving a tiny little spritz and rubbing it through for that last little bit of shine. Even in the Jon Renau instructions, they say that you should use some kind of a heat product to fully dry the hair so that water doesn't get trapped in the cuticle and cause frizziness. You can see that this looks so healthy and so shiny and just a lot more polished and glamorous compared to the look originally, which, it looked very dry and unhealthy by comparison. Leave me a note in the comments and let me know which style was your favorite. I did put a link in the description to all of the things that we used today. So the Color Wow Shine Spray, as well as the Blow Dry Balm and my Heat Protectant Spray. I also put a link to the Blow Dry Wand, the hair straightener, and a few of my favorite brushes and combs. And of course, the Beach Wave Spray. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell so that you're notified each time a wig review or tutorial is posted weekly. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.